Woodsy Owl and the Trail Bikers by Kenan Graham, illustrated by Frank McSavage. It was quite early in the morning, a good time for dozing, and that's just what Woodsy Owl was doing. In his dream, he heard a sound like the buzzing of a faraway bee. The noise kept growing louder, until it sounded like a swarm of angry hornets. Finally, the noise became a roar, and a dozen trail bikes burst across the meadow and rocketed past the trunk of Woodsy's tree. Woodsy banged his head on a limb and nearly toppled off his branch. "What's going on?" he cried. Other animals were startled too. A mother woodpecker almost cracked a lovely new egg. A small bunny, diving for his hole, tripped over a root. A badger's tunnel caved in on his store of winter food. The riders circled the meadow, then headed again toward Woodsy's tree. "Run for your lives," the badger yelled. "They're coming back this way." The animals scattered like swirling leaves, all except Woodsy Owl. He tooted on his hooter and threw up both wings. "Halt!" he shouted. The surprised riders skidded to a stop and shut off their motors. The meadow suddenly became very still. "That awful noise is polluting the air," Woodsy scolded. "You're frightening every creature in the forest. You're tearing up the soil. How did you get here?" "Trail bikes go almost anywhere," the leader explained. "Good," said Woodsy. "Then ride yours back to town." "We can't," the leader sighed. "We rode them in town and everyone complained about the noise. The mayor was so angry that he gave us exactly 7 days to find a trail that wouldn't bother anyone. We've looked all week, and today our time is up. When the mayor hears that we still haven't found a trail, we'll be in real trouble." "I know a perfect place," said Woodsy. "Swan River. It's in the forest, but it's away from the animals' homes. There you could make a trail that wouldn't frighten the animals or disturb the plants and soil. Let's go and look." Following Woodsy, everyone hiked through the deep woods and headed towards Swan River. But when they arrived, they had a terrible shock. "Is this Swan River?" Woodsy cried. "It looks more like the city dump." "It's a disgrace," the leader agreed. "But this is our only chance. We'll just have to clean things up so we can ride around here." The riders parked their bikes, rolled up their sleeves, and got busy. They worked all morning, even without even stopping to rest. By noon, several piles of rubbish lined the banks. Even so, the leader began to worry. "This is a big job," he said. "At this rate, I'm afraid we'll never make it." The hours grew longer, and the piles grew higher. The river looked better, but when the evening came, there was still much to do. "It's no use, Woodsy," the bikers said unhappily. "This job was way too much for us." "You tried hard," Woodsy told them. "Ask the mayor for a little more time." "He's too angry," the leader said. "He won't allow us another minute." "I have an idea," said Woodsy. "Come back tomorrow noon and bring the mayor." "There's nothing that can be done now," answered the leader, "but we'll invite him if you say so." At dawn the next morning, Woodsy was back at Swan River. All the other animals came too, and they had a plan ready. "You know your jobs," Woodsy said. Let's get to work." Beavers and muskrats splashed into the river and began dragging out the trash. Groundhogs, badgers, gophers, and moles dug deep holes and buried scraps left by picnickers. Squirrels and raccoons added plastic spoons and paper cups to the junk piles. Birds picked up bottle caps. Deer tore down ugly signs and posters. Even the smallest chipmunk found some way to help. The hours flew by as the busy animals added old shoes, coat hangers, rusty buckets, jars, boxes, bottles, and cans to the rubbish heaps. Woodsy was everywhere, helping everyone. Best of all, he found a man with a truck to haul off the mountains of junk they had collected. Exactly at noon, the last tin can disappeared. "We did it!" the animals cried. "Now look at this place!" "And not a second too soon," Woodsy exclaimed. "Here come the bikers with the mayor, and he does look angry." The mayor stepped out of his car, frowning. His frown vanished as he looked around with surprise. "I can't believe my eyes," he cried. "Swan River hasn't looked so beautiful in years. You bikers have done a wonderful job." The bikers were nearly too amazed to speak. "We only started the job," the leader explained. "Somehow our friends finished it. Woodsy, how can we ever thank you?" "Glad to help," Woodsy said, "and you can thank us by spreading the word. Give a hoot, don't pollute." And winking a big wink, Woodsy Owl tooted a happy hoot on his hooter. The end. And little golden books, please re-release this.